Welcome back to the vlog. We're going to be at Capital Casino playing the 1-3 game, buying for $500. It was a very long day for me, over 5.5 hours, and I didn't play my best, but, well, you'll see. Sit back, relax, enjoy. Here it comes. We've been playing for about 40 minutes, hanging around even for now. Looked down at Queen 9 of clubs from under the gun. Decided to open for a race of 15. It's not something that I normally do, but people were being a little passive. But not this time. I opened for 15 and I get 4 callers for the 15. So we're going to head off to this flop with 5 players and $75 in the middle. Flop comes out Queen 9-5 with 2 spades. So we flop top 2. But it's a very draw-heavy board, and we have 4 opponents. When it's checked over to me, I decided to bet for $40, trying to get it down to 1 or 2 players. Only the player in the low jack, after tanking for a very long time, decides to put in the call. The other players end up folding out, and we're going to go see a turn card with 155. He started with about 200 in his stack, so he has about 130 or so remaining. I decided it's a pot-sized bet. Go ahead and stick it in there because that jack of diamonds sure makes that board very coordinated, and I don't want to get drawn out on. And if he does draw onto me, I want him to pay the maximum. He shows king queen as he folds. I'm in the hijack when I pick up 2 kings, decide to put in a little raise to $25, end up getting 3 players to come along for the 25. So we're going to see a flop with $104 in the middle. The flop comes out ace, king 6. Yes, really hoping someone has an ace here. I got 3 opponents. There's a good chance someone does. Everyone checks to me. I bet $30, just praying somebody will play along. And they all started to fold. A little frustrating. Usually when ace comes on the flop, someone always has it. A little while later, I pick up a7 suited. Someone opened for 15. I decided to put in a call. Sometimes I'll get a little aggressive and put in a 3-bet raise here, but I just decided to put this in my calling range, and we end up getting a couple other players coming along with us. Flop comes down king queen 7 with 2 clubs. So I got bottom pair and the nut flush draw. The player leads right out into me, and he does so with a sizing of $35. I think it's just a call. If I get someone to overcall, I get better odds. Anyway, get one other player to call, and we see a turn card of a queen of hearts. Not the greatest. It's check to me. I'm not going to try to represent a queen here. I just check it back. River card comes as a 9. We brick out. It's checked again over to me. Someone has to have a king. I just check it. And sure enough, one player turned over king jack. I don't think he was going to fold to a bet. The action is starting to pick up a little bit. There was a couple limpers. Player raised to 20. Here, I decided I'm going to go ahead and play in position with this player. He has a pretty deep stack. He seems to be playing some hands very aggressively. And if I flop something good with my 7-5 suited, I might be able to win a big pot here. Anyway, there's going to be $104 in this, and we're going 5 ways to a flop. And the flop comes out jack 9-5. So I got bottom pair, some sort of straight draw, and a backdoor flush draw. And to my surprise, it gets checked all the way around. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to stab at this. Maybe I can just get a free card and get something good. And the turn card comes as a jack of hearts. Again, it gets checked all the way to me. And I'm thinking, well, maybe no one has anything. Let me take a stab here. So I bet out for 60. And everyone starts to fold until that last player who's been playing aggressively, and he puts in the call. What does his call represent? Well, most likely two big cards and maybe a flush or a straight draw. If he had a pocket pair, I think he probably would have bet it. So unless I really improve, I'm just going to check this down. And if an overcard comes, especially a heart, I'm going to be hating life. So we get to see the river card, which comes a queen of hearts. He ends up checking it to me. I check it back right away. He says he has two pair. I'm ready to throw my hand away, and he rolls over 7-5. I really didn't expect to see that. A tough opponent opens for a raise to $20. The small blind puts in the call, and I have king queen in the big blind. I decided to put it in the call also, and so does the player who limped in. We see a flop of king queen 5 with two clubs. It's checked to me, and I ended up checking this. I really don't like that. I think I need a donk lead here and do it a very large sizing, maybe $60 to $70. Anyway, it ends up getting checked around. Turn card comes ace of diamonds, one of the worst cards out there. And now the small blind ends up leading into me for $30. Don't know what to do here. I'm kind of afraid to see a jack 10 or maybe aces up. Quite possibly they just might have ace nothing. But I definitely don't think my hand's worth a raise at this point with two live players behind me. We get it heads up and we see a river card of a 6 of spades. This time he sizes up a little bit bigger. He makes it $50. Still, I think it's more like a block bet. And I'm trying to debate whether I want to go for a raise or not. And if I raise him, what hands is he going to call me with? It's probably the only one would be ace jack. And that's exactly what he has, is ace jack. So I thought I lost a little value by not raising, but I'm really disappointed I didn't bet that flop. Player under the gun opens for a raise to 21. I look down at king, queen of clubs on the button, decided to put in the call, and so does the big blind. So we're going to go three ways to this flop with $64 in. Flop comes out king, 9, deuce, rainbow with one club. It gets checked over to me. I decided to just check this one back, be a little bit deceptive. Turn card is a 8 of diamonds. Good turn card. Player in the big blind leads for $30. The other player folds out. And now it's back on me, and I decide to put in the call.
Okay, I don't mind you checking back on the flop. It's okay to be deceptive. But when they bet into you on the turn, this is where you go for value, especially on a card that is so draw heavy. You got to put in a raise here, and make it a big raise. He won't understand what you could have.
So the two of us are going to end up going to the river card with 124 in, and it comes queen of hearts. So we make top two. My opponent checks, which kind of means he has something that's showdown value. And I decide to make it look like a bluff, maybe like I had a flush draw, and I go big. And I really don't like this bet. If I wanted to make a bigger pot, I should have raised on the turn. Instead, I'm trying to get it all back here on the river. And he thinks about it for quite some time, but eventually finds the fold. So I feel like I really messed this hand up, and I'm sure Zeus is going to come in here and tell me how bad I play. Okay, one player limps in, and then the player at the other end of the table raises to 13. It's folded to the player in the small blind who's only seen him raise or 3-bet when he had aces. So I think he has a very big hand when he makes it 40 from the small blind. I looked down at 2 queens from the big blind, and I decided just to call, which invited the other 2 players to come in and overcall. So it's probably a mistake, but that's what I did. Flop comes queen 9-6. So I flop top set, and I'm praying the guy's going to lead out into me, but he checks. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe he had jacks after all. Anyway, I make it 75. I probably should go a little bit higher just because it's so draw heavy. If I get action, it's going to be from someone with jack 10 or a flush draw. I don't think I'm going to get action from any other type of hand. Player at the other end of the table puts in the call for the 75, so I put him on one of those hands, either a straight or a flush draw. Turn card comes 6 of hearts. We make a full house. I thought about checking it here to try to induce him, but then I said, let me just go ahead and put some money out there. I'm giving him about 4-to-1 price to put in a call when I bet 125. He thinks for a very long time, And he's a very good player, and I think he just decided that he wasn't going to be drawing to a straight or a flush when there's a chance I might have a hand like pocket nines or pocket queens. He makes a very good laydown, and I'm thinking maybe I should have checked it to him, gave him a free card to hang himself. I don't know. You tell me. Ended up switching tables, and I've been playing for about 5.5 hours, getting a little tired. There is a $6 straddle. About four people limp in. I look down at ace queen offsuit from the small blind, decided to raise to 40. Only the player in the low jack ends up putting in the call for the 40. So we're going to go heads up with about $100 in the center of the pot. Flop comes out ace 3-3 with two hearts. So I got top pair, second best kicker, and I bet out for $20. This particular player likes to attack weakness, and I decided if I put out a weak bet that he might just do something stupid. Anyway, he thinks for a while and puts in the call for the $20. So I think he has something, or maybe just doesn't believe I have anything. So when the four of clubs comes, I decided I'm going to lay the trap. So I think the best way to get value from this particular player is to let him take a stab at it. If he has an ace, he's going to bet big because he doesn't want me to, say, have a draw at the flush. If he has a flush draw and he thinks that I don't have an ace, but maybe a pocket pair, he might go ahead and bet it to try to get me out. And if he doesn't think I have anything, he's going to try to steal it with a big bet. So either way, I think he's going to bet big, and that's exactly what he does. He bets 125. And I'm thinking, that's perfect. Could he have a 3? Of course he could. But the chances are very, very slim. I'm pretty sure he just has an ace with a weaker kicker, or maybe a flush draw. If I wasn't a flush draw out there, I might just smooth call, but heck no, I'm just going to go ahead and rip it. I'm going to get value from all his draws, all his aces, and maybe some of his non-believing pocket pairs that thinks I'm just totally full of it. He thinks for probably about 10 to 15 seconds before finally putting in the call, which I love, of course. I'm pretty sure I am way ahead, just looking for a blank on the river, and that's what we get. We get the 4. So I roll over my ace queen, he mucks it pretty quickly, and we win the final hand of the day. So after 5.5 hours of play, I ended up cashing out a winner for $780, which is great. I wasn't pleased with my play, though. I think I made too many mistakes, and I got to fix those leaks. I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers for supporting the channel. It really does mean a lot when I see a new subscriber sign up, and when I see those comments from all of you. It makes it all worthwhile. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Hope you run good at the tables, and we'll see you back here soon.